Well, good evening, everyone. And just on the replay, hello. We are excited that you're here and joining us. My name's Phyllis Anderson, and I am excited to bring you some information about, we're going to talk about weight wellness and how does hormones like cortisol and our different hormones um, play into our weight wellness and some other things. And so I have two special guests with me tonight. I have Denise, who's also a nurse, and Leanne, and they'll be sharing some testimonies along the way. But I thought we would start by calming our adrenals because that's what secretes cortisol, is our little adrenals that sit right on top of our kidneys. We're going to do what I call is box breathing. I don't know. Put a one in the chat if you've heard of box breathing. Um, okay, Gina says yes. Okay. So what we do is you can close your eyes. You don't have to have your eyes open for this. You can click your camera off, whatever you want. But we're just going to take about three breaths. Leanne's heard of it. Tammy's heard of it. Okay, awesome. But how many of us really practice it? Right? How many people practice it? Because when we are in a stressful situation, or when we're running in to get on a call, or we're rushing in the door after work to make dinner and do all the things, that is literally fight or flight. We can be in fight or flight unless we're, keeping track of all those feelings and that shortness of breath or that tightness or that gut feeling that you're just like, or you see that you're just shallow breathing. You're kind of just breathing from up here. That's a sign that you just need to stop and do the box breathing. So, okay, I'm admitting one more person. So Judy is joining us. Hi, Judy. We're just getting ready to close our eyes and just start with a reset. We're gonna do some box breathing. And so what I'd like for you to do if you're sitting, just, plant your booty, feet on the floor, or lay down or relax, however that looks for you. And we're just gonna do this about 3 times. So I want you to inhale for 4 seconds and then hold it at the top for 4 seconds. So ready? And then slowly exhale for 4 and then hold it at the bottom. Your lungs are empty here for 4 seconds. And then you're going to do it again. And if it helps to visualize a box, like you're breathing across the top of the box, breathe in for 4 seconds. And then press that breath down as you go down the one side of the box, 4 seconds. And then as you travel across the bottom of the box, you're going to exhale for 4. And now picture yourself holding your breath or pressing out still of that breath for 4 more seconds as you go up that other side of the box. Okay, and then just one more time. I'm going to be quiet so that we can just do the practice. And when you're done, we'll open our eyes and get started. Okay, whenever you're ready, I'll see open eyes, and that means you're all back with me. Okay, who wants to just describe how you're feeling in the chat? How do you feel after, like, compared to when you first got on and after breathing like that? How does that make you feel? Much calmer, Gina says. Yeah, you're literally resetting your nervous system, Denise. Yeah. And so it can take you out of that fight or flight and settle those adrenals down. You're sending a signal that I'm safe. I don't need you to secrete all that cortisol anymore. Stop. And less anxious. Yeah. Isn't it great? And did that cost us anything? No. And it took us, let's see, 16 seconds per round. So, do y'all have, a minute of your day where you could do this to reset? I think so. Okay, awesome. All right, so there you go. That is one free tool to use to reset that cortisol surge that wants to happen when our bodies think we are being chased by a bear. That's what that um, prehistoric brain still does for us because we were, we're just made that way. And so fight or flight, like that is a signal that something's stressing us. And it could just be um, just everyday things. Like I have a project due. I got to run, take the kids to school. I'm running late to work. How many of us feel that? You feel that inside of you, right? So that stress, our brain, what we're going through. And sometimes you could say, I'm not stressed. I feel great. But if you're a person that struggles with weight gain around the belly specifically, there's a couple reasons for that. We're going to get to it. But one of them could be that you are in chronic stress. Your adrenals are releasing cortisol, which is adrenaline, and it's sending this awesome, signal to your liver like, hey, dump some sugar. The cortisol says dump sugar. It sends a signal. And that sugar is supposed to give us energy, quick energy, so we can run away from that bear, get away, get to safety fast. And when we um, aren't using that sugar that has just been so graciously dumped into our system, our body is amazing again. It says, oh, no problem. I will store all that extra energy. We're going to store it around your belly as fat, stores it in the fat. And so while that's amazing that our body does that, it's not helpful, right? And so that chronic stress and that elevated cortisol, it can do a few things. Like number one, disrupt sleep. It can increase cravings for things. It doesn't say specifically sugar, just any cravings, right? Because we all have our thing, right? But it also slows metabolism. So when I think about how I used to be just stressed out all the time, I was constipated too. And so if things aren't moving, like, and your metabolism's slow, um, you're not going to the bathroom very well. And let's talk more about the belly fat that is stored. The cortisol drives storage of the visceral belly fat around the midsection. So that creates inflammation in our body. And when our body's inflamed, if you feel it in your hands, your feet, your knees, joints, your brain is also inflamed. And so an inflamed brain is not a good thing, guys, right? Have we all heard of Alzheimer's disease or dementia? Any form of dementia, really. A brain on fire in long periods of on fire um, just degrades itself over time. And also, not clearing toxins is another thing because we're not sleeping well. That's when we sleep, that's when our body is at work clearing things. I'll be talking about restore, but the cool thing about restore is it gets you into this deeper sleep of stage four. I think it's non-REM stage four. That is where we clean up beta amyloid proteins. And if you've heard about beta amyloid proteins, it's associated with Alzheimer's disease. So when I saw that, my brain just went, oh, another reason why we're supposed to be getting some good deep sleep. And so we want to do everything we can to reduce our stress and get that sleep so that we're not storing that fat and we're clearing toxins. Okay. And so if we're storing all this, not sleeping, etc., we are going to have a higher risk of other chronic illnesses too. So it's not a 3-day conference here, so I'm going to keep going. But I could nerd out on this all day long. So I want to ask you guys, when stress hits you, um, what gets thrown off first for you? Is it sleep? Is it your energy? Or is it your cravings? Put it in the chat. Gina says sleep, sleep, energy. From Denise, sleep, sleep. Okay. Look at that. So much sleep. Okay. And it's true because that's the other thing is our brain gets busy thinking about things, right? And so, but there's ways around that. There's like, and that's a whole nother probably session, which we can talk about. I would love to do that. Um, In fact, as we're sharing here today, if there's any topics that you guys want to know more about or learn more about, please put them in the chat. I will take notes and write them down because I really want to be able to provide more value to everybody. And we're doing this like team wide, like Denise and Leanne and Gina. Actually, Marguerite, you guys are not even on my team. We're sideline sisters, but I love that we can share together and create some awesome value for people. So, I actually want to turn the time over to Leanne, and she's going to share her just a quick testimony about how the products have helped her, and we'll go from there. Go ahead, Leanne.
All right. Well, I want to, so hopefully, oops, I don't have my picture on. Can you see that? Okay, there is my before picture. And let me tell you about that girl before. I was tired. I thought once you had kids that it was permanent, be tired. I drank Mountain Dew to have energy to get through the day, but then had that afternoon crash that required a nap. And then I drank a glass of wine at night to help me sleep. But none of these things were helping. And I felt like something was missing, but I had no idea what it was. I had brain fog. I lacked motivation. I was often sick, not to mention the fact that I was overweight. I was an older mom. I didn't have my kiddos until I was 32, 34, and 38. And so I knew that I needed to take care of me so that I could be around for a long time. A friend shared with me about Plexus. Honestly, I never even saw any posts on Facebook about it at that time. She just shared it with me. I trusted her, and so I tried. I really just wanted energy. I wasn't even thinking weight loss or the brain fog or any of the other things. I really just wanted some energy. But at the beginning, I wasn't consistent. So I had a decision to make. Would I work with the products and be consistent? I'd seen thousands of success stories, and I knew it was time to draw my line in the sand. And when I did, the results followed. Gut health was my missing piece that gave me back my energy to do the things to be a better mom and wife. 10 years ago, I started with our simple three-step system, the triplex. And within the first year, I lost 45 pounds. And since then, I've lost and kept off 70 pounds, which to me is the bigger part, is that I've been able to keep it off. Now I love water and I crave veggies. I have rarely gotten sick in 10 years. And moms, let's be real, we don't have time to be sick. What has truly surprised me about this journey, though, is the community. Just like Phyllis said, the sideline sisters, the friends you see at convention, it's just a big family reunion. And the income potential has surprised me as well. Travel is one of my love languages, and I have been blessed to earn trips with Plexus and to enjoy our annual conventions that have been at different places that have been fun to visit as well. So I challenge you to do something really crazy. Try gut health for 90 days. And as of today, it's September 24th. Christmas is in 90 days. I don't mean to freak you out, but it is. So do something crazy and try gut health for 90 days and see what it can do for you. I am so glad that I tried.
I love your testimony, Leanne. I've never heard her testimony before, you guys. So that's amazing. And good job on having your before picture ready to go. That what she did is key, you guys. So anyone that's joining new to Plexus, like as soon as they enroll, I encourage them to take a photo, get something up close because the inflammation alone that we talk about, right? We just told you that inflammation is your body and brain on fire. Not good. And so when you see that inflammation drop, sometimes it's inches and sometimes it's just visible in your face. Sometimes it's weight on the scale too. But if you're not measuring and getting pictures, you're missing the magic, because that silly brain of ours wants to think we haven't lost a pound and we have not changed at all. But a picture does not lie, right? And maybe Leanne, you noticed that, or maybe you were so good with your pictures that you were keeping track and journaling and all that. But I really encourage people to journal your um, yeah, look at Leanne saying, I'm still having trouble remembering to shop for a different size. I'm telling you, that brain is silly. It's full of information. We have to constantly tell it, you're okay, sweetheart, or I need to pick a different, I need to go shop for that different size. So, wow, wow, wow. Good job. And thank you for sharing that. Okay. So, we're going to talk a little bit about like why Leanne was seeing these kind of changes and losing this weight like she did. Gut and liver health equals hormone balance. Would you ever think that your gut was responsible for your hormones? Do you know that 90% of your serotonin, your happy hormone, is made in your gut? 90% of your melatonin is made in your gut. And 70 to 80% of your immune system, immune health, your gut is responsible for. So when your gut is out of balance, your hormones are out of balance, and your immune health suffers. And for me, I had autoimmune disorder. I had Raynaud's where my fingers would turn white, they would be painful. I live in California. It does not snow near the beach. Actually, we have had some weird snow, but very rare. Okay. It is not much colder than 29 degrees, and that's the first thing in the morning when we wake up, midwinter. Okay. Otherwise, it's about 60 to 70 degrees year round here during the daytime. My hands, if it got cold at all, it was painful. Okay. And then I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. The thing that triggered the RA was a ruptured breast implant. So I took care of the source. So I always say, what is your source? Let's go digging deeper for the source. But then thank goodness for these products that got in and did some amazing detox for me, cleaned it all up. My Raynaud's is essentially non-existent. I don't fear going to the snow because that was painful. If I went to the snow, I could have gloves on. I would have to put the heater packs in my hands. It would be almost to tears, and I'm like, I'm an adult, I can suck it up, but it was so painful. So I'm so thankful that 8 years ago, that's when I found these products. So the gut roll, our microbiome helps us metabolize and also recycle hormones, right? Because hormones are secreted, but then when we don't need them, now they need to move through and get processed out. The liver is the big one for detoxing this, okay? And the way our body takes those toxins from the liver and gets rid of it is through our stool. It's through the gut, okay? Our kidneys are another two amazing detoxifiers. That's urine, okay? So we're going to talk about hydration because you got to flush. We got to flush, flush, flush every single day to get these toxins out. When your gut is out of balance, it lets estrogen and cortisol linger. So, I mean, who here has struggled with weight loss? Like, I run marathons. I was running marathons. I was cross training at the gym. I was stressing my body out. So, I was pumping out cortisol like it was on sale. I don't know. And I was just storing fat. And I had put on 20 pounds in 2 years. With Plexus, I lost 27 pounds in 6 months. And other things had changed so quickly for me that I couldn't stop talking about it and sharing about it. So I did. And my story is I was able to replace my nursing income. And 3.5 years later, I retired from nursing because I had tripled my nursing income at that point. And I just found so much more joy helping people heal from the root cause. Okay. And so, more information. Our liver clears the toxins, excess hormones that can lead, like it's overloaded, and then you get buildup. And then, when the liver's like, I mean, I don't know where to put it. Okay, let's put it in your fat cells. So now your fat cells become a toxin storage unit. And until you release those toxins, you won't release that fat. And so the detox program that you get in our products is helpful. And then just get keeping your bowels moving, right? Because if you're constipated at all, meaning you poop less than once a day, you will store these nasty toxins and you reabsorb them because your liver's already done the work. It's processing. It's like, okay, I need to get rid of it. Oh, nowhere to put it. All right, let's store it or reabsorb it. So how gross that just grossed me out when I learned that part. Okay, estrogen dominance. This is when there's poor clearance of the estrogen hormone. So people with PMS, heavy cycles, mood swings, fatigue, weight gain, or any hormone-linked conditions, the PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, adenomyosis, tons of female issues. And so when you get the gut healthy, help cleanse the liver, these things go away. And that's where we have so many doctors on our team that are like, I couldn't fix the person, but then they told me they started Plexus, and then I saw their health change. And it made them dig in deeper and learn. And now they promote it out of their office. One of our doctors lives an hour north of me, and she was able to support her practice during COVID because of her Plexus income when no one was wanting a pap smear. Okay. We were not getting pap smears during COVID, were we? And so her office was quiet and she was still able to pay her mortgage and all her bills. So, power in not just the products, but our opportunity, our compensation plan. And all right, the menopause connection. I was 41, you guys, when I stopped having periods. My body just stopped. I didn't do birth control. I didn't do any kind of hormone replacement. I had three kids. My last child was born at 32 years old, and my ovaries and all the things just stopped producing hormones enough that I stopped having periods. And so I began my menopause at such a young age. And so by the time I was 48, that's when I found Plexus and things started changing so fast. And I said, wow, women don't need to suffer and we don't need to be put on a bunch of medications, right? And I'm not here to tell you not to do that. Always consult with your physician. But wow, 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 I had consulted with my physician and she didn't give me any hope. A week later, Plexus fell in my lap and then things changed. So, when estrogen and progesterone fall during menopause, the adrenals make DHEA, not estrogen replacement. So, at one point, I thought I heard when your estrogen drops, then your adrenals say, hey, I'm making a hormone. Let me just secrete that for you. But there's a different roundabout way, and it's this through DHEA. So, if I ever said that and you heard me say that, that was disinformation, misinformation. But the adrenals are still involved there. And our unmanaged stress is what worsens our symptoms. And so we talked about that. And I think too, just as we age, things just start building up, right? And our habits start to have longer lasting effects. And then that's what else just it's kind of a compounding effect. So, what surprised you guys most about the gut and liver's role in hormone balance? Anything come into mind? Any comment? Let me look at the chat here. Yeah, was there anything that just jumped out at you, or you're like, oh my gosh, I did not know that, or aha moments? Okay, I'm going to turn the time over to Denise, another nurse, and she's going to share her story.
Okay, all the technical things. So, hello. Thanks for the invite, Phyllis. We actually literally just touched base like yesterday or the day before because I saw that she had posted about this hormone harmony, and I was like, I want to learn more. And so that's how I am. I just want to learn more all the time. So, thanks for asking me to share my story. I'll try and be brief. I love all the things that you shared. About menopause and the hormone cortisol connection. So I'm not going to bore you with that because I've been doing a lot of research on that as well. But my story goes back a really long time. I was diagnosed with irritable bowel when I was in high school. and I went through just a battery of testing and, different kinds of scopes trying to figure out why I was having these IBS, irritable bowel symptoms, always bloated, always kind of nauseated. Everything I ate would go straight through me. And my mom said, well, we're French. We just have touchy tummies. And that's kind of how she wrote it off. And off I went to college and I abused my body for a long time. And my symptoms would kind of come and go. But I definitely had that IBS with both constipation and diarrhea. But that really changed and evolved into something worse. My body began to attack itself. So I was diagnosed with autoimmune ulcerative colitis when I was in my mid 30s. That was just after I had had my twins. I had had my gallbladder out. So, talk about a job for the digestion and liver. Not having a gallbladder is not a good thing. It turns out it actually is an organ that we need, despite what some people say. So I struggled all the way through raising my babies. I also learned later on that I had autoimmune infertility. So that was something that also went way back. And just looking back, my health was really, really poor. Um, I so I struggled with my digestion big time. I struggled with energy. At times, I had just crushing fatigue, and I couldn't figure out why. I went to different doctors, and they're like, well, you just have chronic fatigue syndrome or whatever, but how did I get this? Why did I get it? I was always asking questions. Um, so I started feeling really defeated because I couldn't keep up with my kids. I always wanted to nap. Um, and I was always looking for the bathroom, trying to figure out if we did go places where that bathroom was in case I was going to have an emergency. And so people started kind of making fun of me, like Denise needs to know where the bathroom is all the time. But it wasn't funny. It was actually really sad and it affected my mood. I started to think to myself, is my husband going to even love me because I'm so sick? I actually had lost a lot of weight. I was not absorbing any nutrients, and I knew I was in trouble. Um, about age 40-ish, I started seeing a naturopath, and she really talked to me about gut health and leaky gut, and it started kind of all to make sense to me. So by the time Plexus came along, about 8 years later, a friend and I were just working out in the gym. I didn't see anything online either. I don't even know if I had a Facebook account at that time. But she was working out with me and she said, I started these supplements because I have celiac disease. And I know you've been tested and you don't have it, but you seem to have a lot of symptoms that I had. So I just want you to check them out. And I'm like, no, I got these really fancy supplements at my naturopath. So no, thank you. And I turned her down for like 6 months. And finally, I was just so sick and tired, and I had severe exercise intolerance. And so I couldn't make it through a whole workout. And I was just sad because I knew I needed to work out to get strong, but I couldn't do it. So finally, I gave in. And within about 2 weeks, my bowel movements were like nearly normal. And I hadn't had that for probably over 20 years. And so I was just amazed. I called her up and I'm like, Carrie, I had a normal poop. I actually had a normal poop. And she's like, yay, this is what we celebrate in Plexus. And so I just felt elated. And the changes kept happening. Every couple months, I would report something new. I got my energy back. People noticed. And what's really interesting is, Leanne, you showed that picture of your face. Um, I was looking back at pictures from before I started Plexus, and I had that puffy face, and my eyes were squinty, and I had these sallow, bags. I still have bags under my eyes because I'm almost 58, but I was dark under here. And so I felt puffy, but yet I was losing weight. And about 5 or 6 months in, I would say people were asking me, "Hey, what are you doing? You look like you lost weight." And I'm like, okay, but I don't want to be losing weight. So what are you noticing? And so they were noticing my face, and I looked at pictures before and now, and I could tell this remarkable difference. Um, about that time, I noticed, hey, I'm not having any ulcerative colitis flares. Like I'm not bleeding. I'm not having abdominal pain. I'm not running to the bathroom 6, 8, 10 times every morning. Like that was my life. I would make my kids late for school. So, yeah, I mean, everything just kind of kept getting better from there. I didn't know because I stopped my period when I was very young. I was 32 years old. And I didn't know it was my body attacking myself, but I never was offered any kind of hormone replacement therapy ever. And so here I am in my 50s with this plexus group learning about so many things, including hormones for the first time. I was able to make a decision for myself. And turns out they can be heart protective, they can be neuroprotective, they can be bone protective. And so I got to make that decision. But I don't think that I would be where I am today if hadn't heard somebody in plexus talking about menopause and some of the symptoms and how plexus can help balance our blood sugar and help with our cortisol levels and just help us with these pesky hot flashes with the X Factor Plus. So I'm going to close out here by just saying I feel like Plexus saved my life health wise. And the thing I love is this community, and you guys have mentioned this already. You learn so much, and you come in contact with so many different people that have different perspectives. And I feel like that just really has strengthened me as a person and as a leader. I have a beautiful, beautiful team. And this journey has led me to a beautiful business, and that's blessed our family because of this plexus business. We are very, very proud to say that we live debt free. And I'm not a diamond or a jewel in the company. I'm a ruby, but I'm very, very proud to say that because we've been able to pay for college tuition for 3 kids without loans. And I've been a major contributor to that. We've paid off cars. We've covered the rising cost of healthy food. I mean, there is something to talk about right there. And we just spend more time together traveling, enjoying each other's company. My husband thinks our company is bougie because he gets to go on the leaders retreats with me and we get pampered and all the things. But I don't know that we would choose to do that if we hadn't had this opportunity. So that's all I have right now. If anybody has questions about what I'm taking, it's pretty standard what a lot of people are doing. I think we all have our restore drink that
Yeah.
we're drinking at this time of night. So um, yeah, cheers.
Cheers. I know. Cheers. This is Restore. It gets a little, it settles in the bottom because that is spinach leaf and spirulina. So you just give it a little swirl before you drink it. But it's so great to end your night with that. But I'm going to just zip through the triplex system. And actually, Leanne and Denise, if you wouldn't mind just putting in the comments your regimen that you guys use, just like be honest with what you take because I started out on just the triplex. And I just unboxed this. It just came in the mail. I love it. I got the reset with the triplex because I love the reset. And I'm trying to do it once a month. And the way they bundled it made it brilliant because it's $60 for the reset when you bundle it with your triplex. But this is our foundation, gut health foundation. When we talked about how important your gut is in hormone balance and detoxification, um, and weight management, right? I actually call it weight wellness because, like Denise said, she was having trouble absorbing her nutrients. She was in the bathroom, going to the bathroom, and these people, and anyone who has bowel habits more than 4 times a day, chances are you've got something that needs to be addressed. You've got some kind of colitis or sensitivity that you do need to see a doctor. So I'm not going to tell you don't get checked out. But this by itself can start to slow things down and heal and start to heal things. And so the triplex is your slim, your bio cleanse, your probio 5. It's synergy. This is why they sell it in a bundle. It works so well together. It's really not meant to be taken hodgepodge here and there. And like that is, I will do that every day for the rest of my life is the triplex. And then Denise mentioned the X Factor Plus, which has aloe in it. And this is very healing to the gut lining. It's got polyphenols that feed good gut bacteria. And it's got that selenium that knocks out hot flashes. I started with triplex when I began, added X Factor Plus the next month. And I'm like, my skin is dry and it was always dewy. I always could feel sticky is how I felt. And if I was talking like presenting like this, I'd be like, oh gosh, I gotta wipe the dew off my face. And people would ask me if I was okay when I'd go out to dinner. And we'd start eating or I'd have a glass of wine and then boom, I called it bursting into flames. That's what would happen. And so I too started to isolate. Plexus gave me my life back, just like Denise said. I had lost myself and I'm very outgoing, very bubbly, very vivacious. And I could have put my pajamas on at 4:30, even sooner, and be done for the day because it was just too hard to get up and get gussied up when it's just going to be a hot mess. So our Slim is our blood sugar balancer. It's going to help reduce those cravings for the things that are sabotaging us. Carbs, sugar, alcohol, these are things that we really need to get under control, you guys. They are killing us. And it's not cute. Okay. It's not cute when we're overeating or over consuming that. It will take its toll over time. So if you can put your big girl panties on with Slim, that's what it took for me. I was like, wow, I don't crave sugar after 4 days. And I used to get mad at myself and say that, like, just stop eating the sugar, Phyllis. Pull your big girl pants up and stop eating the sugar. And I couldn't. I was like, nope, not happening. I'm eating a cookie, then I'll have my salad. You know, I'm having a really awesome dinner, but I want dessert for sure. Now I don't do that. It just doesn't control me anymore. And the energy is through the roof. When you're driving blood sugars into the cells, you get this natural energy that's like amazing. And I stopped drinking coffee because of that. And working in the ER, I would see kids, and that adrenaline surge alone would get my hands shaken sometimes. And if I had caffeine on board, it was even worse. And so that was embarrassing and that wasn't comfortable. So to be able to like not have to even drink coffee anymore and to get me to go to the bathroom, coffee was my jam. And now Slim does that. I get about halfway through my Slim in the morning and I'm like, oh, be right back. And make that happen. And so again, I'm clearing toxins every day. I have a flat stomach when I wake up in the morning instead of being bloated and uncomfortable and having acid reflux. It's just not there. And then our restore, we talked about that. This is the liver detox and cellular detox. So we want our cells clean and we want our liver clean. You will feel lighter. I don't know how to explain it other than I feel lighter when I go, even when I urinate, it's just like clean and clear. Nothing feels boggy. Okay. And then Restore also has berberine and magnolia bark. Berberine helps satisfy cravings, gives satiety. It also is a big antibacterial. So it can reverse some SIBO when people have SIBO and overgrowth of bad bacteria. So you can get some pretty significant detox with Restore, but it's temporary, just like anything hard in life. It's temporary. Keep going. Okay. And then that magnolia bark induces a beautiful deep sleep. It gets you into that stage 4 non-REM sleep that is so important for cleaning things up. And isn't that cool? So, balance and slim together is like the GLP-1 shot. Um, also, somebody else, there was something else. Please shout it out, you guys, if I'm missing something else. But oh, and the restore, slim, and balance. I think that's it. Those all help our body produce more GLP-1 hormone. Our body produces that. When you're getting the shots, the weight loss shots, it is, not a natural way. They're giving you this injection. And so some people, it's covered by your insurance, but the side effects, like, I don't care if you get it for free or you have to pay $700 a month. I've heard all kinds of numbers. It's crazy. Our program is very simple, affordable, and powerful with zero side effects, but only healing, root healing. That's not what you're getting from a shot. The shot does not do anything for you other than makes you not hungry. And now, what are you doing to that beautiful gut microbiome? You're creating dysbiosis because you're not eating. And now bad stuff's overgrowing because you're not giving it the nutrients that you need. So it's just like this really bad cycle. And I have a whole webinar I did with some doctors and nurse practitioners on that. If you guys want it, hit me up and I'll give it to you. But blood sugar balance is also done through balance, and male and female make hormones, right? So all of our stuff is great for men. My husband has his own beautiful testimony. But this also blocks carbohydrates. So isn't that fun? You can, when you get ready to have some pizza or just something fun, because I'm not telling you not to have, a splurge here and there, but just listen to your body as you move along. And then Metaburn is another little fun weight loss thing, because what it does is it revs your metabolism. Okay. It's going to create a thermogenic effect where you're burning fat, and it's that visceral fat. You want the bad fat gone. And so it'll do that for you. It also has 5-HTP in here. So that's a mood booster. Mental clarity, focus, like it's like those four things is what I say this one does. And also reduces the cortisol because it has a calming effect. So you're not getting those signals to secrete cortisol. Secrete cortisol with Metaburn. There's some green tea in here, so you get a little caffeine. If you start your day with this, it's beautiful. It's awesome energy all day. It's a great pre-workout. So you can have your slim in the morning, pop a couple capsules before you head to the gym. You will feel the sweat. It's going to get you firing and detoxing like crazy. So those are some things I wanted to hit. And then I talked about the reset, the 3-day nutritionally supported fast. And that's right here. I just got my box. So I'm actually going to be announcing that I'd love to do this with a group of people. So if anybody wants to join me, we can do that too. I think it'd be fun. And but there's 70 grams of protein. You are burning fat. It's 80% fat loss, not water weight. People will say, oh, you're just losing water weight. Nope, because you're drinking a ton of liquids. And you get shakes, you get some collagen soups, a little snack bar in the afternoon, hydration, the restore at bedtime, all kinds of goodies. And each box tells you exactly what to do. No surprises. And then lastly, our hydrate. This is electrolytes. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about hydration, how we said it clears toxins through the kidney and liver, right? When we're hydrating, including the excess hormones. So the minerals in here, the electrolytes and minerals is what we need for a bunch of different bodily processes. So even starting your day with a stick of hydrate, it is intelligent hydration and it's a liquid multiplier. So if you've had one water bottle, say, let's just say this is full of hydrate, it's like you've had four. So you're getting into the cellular level with hydration and low sodium. You're not getting a ton of sodium, which some other programs, it's a lot of sodium. And as a nurse, I'm like, yikes. I mean, are you roofing? Are you out in the summer heat on the roof? Like maybe you need that kind of sodium, but most people don't. So be careful with that. um, 7 pillars of weight loss, and then we will wrap it up. I love our supplements. I take our supplements every single day, but I also do other things. If weight wellness, like weight loss, is your jam, um, you need to gain weight, like you need to put some healthy pounds on, then we have to talk about other things. Number one, we mentioned hydration, half your body weight in ounces daily. You can add some lemon. Like if you don't do any of this, if somebody's watching and they're like, I just want your natural remedies, add some lemon. That's a natural detoxifier to your water, and track it with your water bottle. I tell people just look for 80 to 100 ounces a day. If you're sweating, working out, you definitely need 100 ounces or even more sometimes. Number two is movement, 30 minutes a day. Even small movements, just walking, get started with something and start slow. Doesn't have to start with 30 minutes. If you are sedentary and don't do anything, then start with 5 minutes and do 5 minutes a couple times a day. You can get your 30 minutes in by just walking after each meal. And strength training 2 to 3 times a week as we age, and especially with menopause, perimenopause, we start to lose calcium in our bones. And the way we drive calcium into the bones is through building muscle. And muscle does a lot also for because we're having to eat protein, right, to build that muscle. It's also going to cause satiety. and you're gonna tend to overeat less. Sleep. Number three is sleep. Get a consistent routine. No screens before bed. Cool, dark room. If you do not have a dark room, get an eye mask. You will be surprised at how deep you sleep, how long you sleep. A cave is a cave-like setting is really good. And turn to a book or prayer or meditation instead of watching TV. And definitely do not watch the news before you go to bed. Or anything upsetting. Like, I don't know, I am not like, what do you call those? Like Nightmare on Elm Street kind of a girl? No, I cannot. I just won't even watch that in the middle of the day. No, thank you. But certainly not before bedtime. So, number four is take your supplements and be consistent with them. Was it Leanne that you said you weren't consistent at first, and then you said, all right, I got to change this. And then boom, she noticed the difference. So consistency is always key. Lots of support. We have our Plexus Go app that you get tons of product information, videos, challenges, super fun things are in there. And then you have your teams. Like all of us have some kind of fun challenge or something going on at all times. So just get with the person that enrolled you, or if you're looking to enroll, you are up in for a good time. Okay. Inflammation reduction, eating whole foods, getting rid of the three B's, anything in a bag or a barcode or a box, not healthy. We're going to shop for veggies, for meats, and legumes, those kind of things, fresh produce. And it's not that expensive. I bought a box of lettuce. It's already pre-washed, mixed greens, for $5. And so that's a salad for quite a few days for our family. And then you just add your proteins or whatever, plenty of veggies, eat the rainbow. But that omega 3s also, so like salmon and daily stress care will reduce inflammation. Mindful nutrition is slowly eat your food, one bite at a time, sitting. Because you're sitting, you're already in that position of like to improve digestion. So do that. Protein, fat, and fiber at every meal, and reduce the sugar, carbs, and alcohol. Okay. Stress management. We did the box breathing. You guys saw how that worked. Praying, journaling. I have a morning routine. I breathe. I mix my slim and my active together. I sit and I have no phone and I do my Bible study, pray, meditate, whatever, practice gratitude. If a morning routine is not going to work for you, then just take breaks during the day, get outside, go for a walk, breathe that fresh air. Um, so let's see. I just want to get one last little engagement piece is what pillar of those seven things I mentioned, which one do you feel strongest in? And which one would you say needs a little bit of love right now? So which one you feel strongest in, and which one could use a little love? Leanne, it was bag, barcode, or box. Yeah. Oh, great, Laura. I'm catching up on the chat. Yay, let's do the reset together. Yeah, let's look at our calendars. Let's do it. Okay, Gina says, good on the supplements, needs work on hydration. Okay, awesome. They have like hydration apps, like water apps that will make a little bloop bloop sign or sound that tells you it's time to drink. I've anybody with any ideas, share them in the chat. The hair bands, people will wrap a hairband, like one, two, three hair bands to say, okay, every time you drink one, you take a hairband off when the hair bands are gone. Or you just load your fridge in the morning or your cooler at work or whatever with however many water bottles you need to get in to make your thing. But the more you drink, the more you're going to be like craving the water. That's what's so cool. And then Leanne says strongest serves our morning quiet time. It's so cool. When you do something over and over again, it becomes such a habit that it's like non-negotiable. And but it's getting to that point, right? It's just and that's why this community is so good. Having an accountability partner to do this with you. And Denise says her strongest is sleep. That's awesome. Need love in the area of stress relief. I know I need it and what to do. Just got to be consistent. Cool, 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 cool. Um, yes, I forgot my X Factor Plus, Laura, for a little bit, and I noticed my hot flash was creeping back. And I'm like, wow, I don't drink alcohol. I eat pretty dang healthy. So I'm like, this isn't detox. It's little hot flashes. So so interesting. So I'm back on my program and making sure I get my green capsules in every day. Awesome, you guys. Any other questions or things that came up for you today? Okay, so my challenge to you is this week, just choose one of these pillars, just one, and maybe a product that you have not tried yet. Or if you're watching this and you're not on Plexus yet, like get with your friend who invited you to this call or shared this call with you, because I love helping make recommendations because we have great systems. The triplex reset, like that's a great place to start. We talked about slim, restore, balance, for just detox and weight wellness. So there's a couple really basic ways to get started. It doesn't have to be complicated. And yeah, we'd love to help you. We've got free shipping right now for anybody new. And I see a lot of people that are already using Plexus on the call. When you share your referral link with your friends, Plexus is giving you double your commission. So that's pretty awesome. And if you're brand new getting started, then I say bring three friends with you because right now it's about $425 for getting three friends started. Boom. And we have a fun trip. Uh, the girls were mentioning these trips that we get to go on, and we have a Rising Leaders Retreat contest that is in February. We are going to Cancun to Moon Palace. And I have so many friends that have been there, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the best resort. So Plexus always pampers us well, and you can earn that. Very simple to earn that. In fact, if you're brand new, I believe it's like 11 people will get you to Cancun when you just get them going this month. That's it. How crazy is that? And then we have other fun prizes to earn along the way as well, and some more surprises coming. So you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. And I love it. Your body, like parting words, is your body's designed to heal when you give it what it needs. And always remember progress, not perfection, right? Don't beat yourself up. We just get back at it and try again and keep going. So, thanks for spending the evening here with us. This went a little bit longer than I thought it would, but hey, you were still here. So, thank you so much. And this was fun. Any other things? Let's see. I struggle a lot sleeping well. Okay, if Tammy, if you're not using the Restore, I would say go get yourself some. And we have sleep gummies. So our sleep gummies are really beautiful. I don't use them because I sleep well, but anyone struggling, like we have some great items. Slim in the morning, Restore, you can have a couple times a day, but I love it over ice during the day or even warmed up as a tea before bed. Amazing. I promise you, your sleep will change. And then the other thing that I noticed helped me with sleep was Mega X. It's an omega and it calms your brain so that you're just like, again, if you have a calm brain, your cortisol is going to go down and you're going to see the weight loss too. So many awesome ways. And I can chat with you offline too, Tammy, if you need to. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And then I see question with Slim Balance Restore. Do you have to take it any certain way? Oh, Slim and Balance first thing in the morning, Restore any time of day. There's really no rules either. You guys just get it in you, you know. I love starting my day with Slim because I want my blood sugars balanced and it starts doing that from the get-go. And so that's that. And then weight loss, if you're really wanting weight loss, we are suggesting Restore twice a day. And I even saw Jessica Hugendorn, who's a doctor. She said put 2 scoops in your drink. So that's awesome. 2 scoops of Restore versus just one. But if you're just getting started on Restore, I would not suggest doing that. Just one, because you are going to cause some die off. Like I said, the berberine is a bactericidal. That's what it is. Kills bad bugs. And when you kill bad bugs, you get bad things released into your system for a little bit, and you've got to clear them. So BioCleanse is always a great idea to add on to anyone's order too. So they're clearing those toxins well. All right, I think I got it. Yep. All right, you guys. Love ya. I'll have the recording available. Just remind me and I'll get it to you. I'm going to put it in my Plexus Transformations group for my team. So look for it there and have a great night. Bye, guys. Thanks, Denise and Leanne, for your testimonies and sharing. It's been wonderful. Thanks, everybody else. Bye.